Hello everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thanks for clicking on this video. So if you have never seen a makeup inventory before, let me quick explain to you what it is. I do this about every 6 months. I literally go through and count all my categories of makeup, and I try to take pictures of everything. A few of my pictures did get hurried this time, but I did get pictures for those of you who want to see. The whole reason for taking a makeup inventory is just literally to keep track of every 6 months or from year to year how I am doing. Sometimes when makeup is really small and it can fit into very small spaces, it's easy to have a lot of it and not realize exactly how much you have. It's always kind of, I don't know, jolting to see the actual numbers. So before we get into that, today's tea of the day, I was so excited to get this in my Sips by box because this is from a brand that I have loved for years. So this is the brand called Tea Viber. That's how it is spelled. And this is the Taiguanyin Iron Goddess Oolong tea. So Iron Goddess or Taiguanyin, very classic oolong. I think it was the first oolong I ever tried, maybe. In any case, it's the oolong that made me fall in love with oolong tea. So when they sent this to me, I squeed. I was like, ooh, I know, I love that stuff. But I haven't drank it in such a long time. So I made myself a fresh cup, and it is very aromatic and fresh. Taiguanyin is definitely on like the vegetal side of oolong, so if that's not your thing, you know, this won't be your thing. All right, thus fortified, let's dive into the numbers. Oh, and before I go any further, I should tell you what is going on with my neck. I actually don't know. I was working outside and I was like picking up armfuls of like sticks and grass and stuff and moving it, and I don't know what I got into, but I've got this kind of swollen rashy thing here on my neck. It's kind of painful and really itchy. So I don't think it's poison oak or poison ivy because I've had those before and this is not acting like that. Someone else suggested to me, because you know it goes down my neck and everything, that maybe it's heat rash, but I've never had heat rash act quite like this either, although it's been years since I've had heat rash, so maybe it is. Anyway, just in case you're wondering what's on my neck, I don't know either. So let's start with my sunscreen category. I'm gonna compare how many I have now to how many I had 1 year ago, last June. So last June I had 8 sunscreens. Now I have 4. I have really been holding myself back from buying sunscreen, even though I've been wanting all of them, and I've been actively using them up. Once I use up another one, I will probably buy 1 or 2 to try. I feel like I'm always rotating through the sunscreens pretty quickly, so I'm pretty happy with that number. Next up is primer. This number has gone up. In June of last year, I had 2. Now I have 5. So I do count the e.l.f. Halo Glow as a primer. That's typically how I would use it. I don't know if I'm going to hang on to that Euphoria one. It's very hydrating, but I get kind of scared to use it just because it's kind of a more thick formula and I have more acne prone skin. And even though I don't think it's made me break out, I'm always scared it's going to. So I kind of hold back from using it. I might end up giving that one away to someone. But in any case, I'm fine with this number of 5. It's not too many for me. Next up, eye primer and glitter glue. It's the same ones I've had. Or actually, no, I take that back. I finished off a eye primer, eyeshadow primer, and purchased the Milani one, but I still just have 1 eyeshadow primer and 1 glitter glue. Foundations, this went up a little bit. Last June, I only had 4. Right now, I have 8, and I do plan on finishing off 1 or 2 more this year. I only let myself purchase 2 foundations a year, at least in general, and I've already done that, so I shouldn't be buying any more this year. Concealer has gone up by 1. I had 3 last June, and now I have 4. I am counting that Becca under eye corrector in the concealer category. That's kind of usually how I use it, although maybe I should put it in the color corrector category. Anyway, for now, it is in the concealer category. Again, I'm pretty happy with this number. I keep getting tempted by new concealers, but I really love the ones that I have. So I keep holding myself back because they do take me a really long time to finish up. Loose powders, I currently have 2, and it's the same. And last June I had 3. I do believe I decluttered 1. I didn't finish 1. So down by 1 due to decluttering. I still have my Coty Airspun and the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I really don't know what I'm going to do with these. I don't use either of them very often, but I have them for when I want them, I suppose. And I have 1 pressed powder. As of last June, I had 2, and I think I did Did I declutter one? I must have, because I don't think I used up a pressed powder. But I currently only have one, and that's the one from number 7, and that's the one I usually use when I reach for powder. Powder bronzer. Last June I had 2, now I'm down to just 1, and that is because I did finish a little bronzer mini. Very exciting for me. It takes me a really long time to use that bronzer, but since I finished one, I'm down to just 1 powder bronzer. And I've been very, very, very slowly getting into bronzer, but more the creams versus the powders. Although every once in a while I do get tempted by a powder bronzer, but just they take me an age to use up, and I really like the one that I have from Flower Beauty. So it's not difficult for me to talk myself out of purchasing bronzers, even though I look at them. I have been shopping for them. Cream bronzers, as of last June, I didn't have any. Right now I have 4. So this has gone up. Again, I really like the ones that I have, especially the Makeup by Mario and the Salt New York. I'm wearing the Salt New York one today and I just love it. But all of these are ones that I can easily wear. Really, really enjoy them. Contour, last June I didn't have any, and right now I'm counting that I do have 1 because I do have another e.l.f. putty bronzer, but it's a contour shade. So I'm gonna count that in the contour category. Powder highlighter, I had to laugh at myself. A few years ago, I would never have even had highlighter in my collection, and here I am getting into highlighter. Last June, I had 8. Now I have 10. The new ones in my collection would be the Rare Beauty one and one of the Laura Geller ones. So yeah, I'm loving the powder bronzer, but I'm also loving the, highlighter, but I'm also loving the creams. Last June, I had 5, and now I have 7. Let's see, the new one would be, since last June, with the Salt New York. What other one came in new? I'm not really sure. But anyway, I do rotate through all of these, and I love them. I'm wearing the Salt New York one today. Again, these numbers don't overwhelm me. I'm happy with where that's at. Oh, here we get into blush. So blush is a love of mine. Do love blush. Last June, I had 10 powder blushes. Now I'm up to 19 powder blushes, and the picture that you're seeing on the screen, this is of my blush drawer. I just did not have time to make a really pretty floor presentation of powder versus cream blushes. I just pulled up in my drawer and took a picture, and not all of my blushes are in here. I had a whole bunch sitting in my vanity for like my shop, my stash. But anyway, here's kind of a look-see at my blush collection. So currently I have 19 powder blushes, which is 9 more than last June, which isn't a surprise to me. I've been buying blush. Cream blush, last June I had 33. Now I have 37. Again, not a surprise because I buy blush. And I do make sure to rotate through all of my blushes all the time in my shop, my stash. So generally I don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes when I go for a specific color and I just can't pick one, then I might feel a little overwhelmed. But in general, when I look at my blush collection, I feel happiness, not stress. Face palettes. Oh, this has definitely gone up because for the longest time I was actively avoiding face palettes. I just wanted singles, like bronzers, blushes, highlighters. Now I do have a few. So last June I only had 1. Now I'm up to 7. And I do think I'm counting a few of these differently. The e.l.f. palette and the Milani palette, I think last time, or maybe last year, I was counting them just as a blush. Now I'm counting them as an actual palette because, you know, they are. So I'm up to 7. So one of those was given to me as a gift. The rest of them I did purchase myself. 7 face palettes. It fits fine in where I've been putting them. So again, I'm fine with that number. Setting spray, last June I had 5, now I have 4. I've been slowly working through these. They usually take me a long time to finish up. I'm good with that number. Let's see, lipstick, I had 26 last year, now I have 28. So I have purchased a couple, but I've also been doing some decluttering because I know I've purchased more than 2. I've been giving away certain colors that I just hadn't used that were still fine. I've been giving away to friends. So I've been kind of trying to curate my collection a little bit more, but I am up to 28 lipsticks, and that includes things like chubby sticks. And this year I also included things like these Kaja melters. I think they're technically a gloss, but they're in like a stick formula, so I counted them in the lipstick category. Lip liners, I am now up to 11, and as of last June I had 11. So Yeah, this number has not changed much. Lip gloss, again, I did the thing where I just opened my bin of lip products and snapped a picture. So the picture you see has the majority of like my lip oils, lip glosses, and everything, but I did separate them by category for the numbers. I have 18 lip glosses. Last June, I had 22. That is great news for me. I'm always struggling with my lip gloss numbers because I love lip gloss. I really, really do love it. So I currently have 18 lip glosses. I have 12 lip oils right now. That is up, however, from last June where I had 7 last time. So lip gloss numbers went down, lip oil numbers went up. You win some, you lose some. Liquid lipstick numbers, I had 3 last June. Now I have 5, which I'm fine with that number. And then I have like an other category for lips things like lip stains, lip vinyls, things like lip creams, things that just don't fit in those other categories. Last June I had 9, now I have 7. So I am down 2 in that category. Lip balms, oh, this has really gone up. I had 5 last June, now I have 9. And it's not because I was purchasing a bunch of lip balms, it's just that I was gifted a whole bunch of lip balms. I think I only purchased 1 lip balm for myself, but people have been giving me some, so that's fine with me. I will go through them. I'm just up a few then from last year. Now we get to some eyeshadows, powdered singles, or packaged powder singles. Last June I had 3, now I'm up to 6. The new ones would be the Maybelline, the Pat McGrath, and the Dior. I try not to buy too many of this type of thing, but I do enjoy the ones that I have. And then we come to cream and liquid shadows, which if you guys watch my channel, you know that I love these. I really, really, really love them, and I love trying out different formulas. So last June I had 54. I'm actually down to 48, and I did do some decluttering. I cleaned out some of my really old ones, gave some others that were still fine away to others to use. So down to 48 cream and liquid shadows. Cream eyeshadow sticks, I also did a declutter with these at some point last year. Last June I had 8. Now I'm down to 4. Mascaras, okay. This year I'm kind of on a mascara journey. I'm trying out a lot of different mascaras. So right now I have 15 in my collection. 8 of those are open. And last June I had 12 in my collection and 4 open. So I do have more mascaras in my collection right now, but mascara is another product that I wear pretty much every day, so I'm not too worried about it. Eyeliners, last June I had 9, now I have 13. This is another category where I had people give me some, and I think I only purchased 1. I purchased the Kaleidos one, which is delightful, by the way, but my numbers are up, mostly due to gifts. Eyebrow products, I am just down to 3. Last June I had 8. Now I have 2 tinted brow gels and 1 pencil. I'm really happy with that. I don't need a big eyebrow product collection. The only way I would change this is I would prefer now to have a clear gel, a tinted gel, and a pencil. Now we come to eyeshadow singles. I have 131 of those. Last June I had 147. I did do a declutter of some really old ones that I had. Others that were not necessarily super old, but they were super crumbly and they kept breaking up and making a big mess in my eyeshadow collection. I finally just decluttered those. So I'm down from 147 to 131, and I really like the collection that I have currently. Eyeshadow palettes. This hasn't gone up. Last June I had 33. Now I have 46. So it's gone up by 13 since last June. I did go on kind of an eyeshadow buying spree last fall, and it has kind of been my pattern for the past few years. In the fall, when all the sales go on, I tend to really buy the palettes. I'm hoping this year not to go so crazy. I do have a few that I have my eye on that I'm kind of saving up my Ulta points for, but hopefully I won't buy as many. All right, so there we have my updated makeup inventory. I'm feeling pretty good about my numbers. I'm not feeling overwhelmed. There's just a few categories where I am really trying to be careful, things like foundation, concealer, and that's just because of my acne prone skin. I don't like to have those products be old, and therefore I try not to buy too many so that whatever I'm using I can use up relatively quickly before it goes bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you supporting my channel. I will see you again very soon in the next one. Bye!